You're listening to the Fierce Fatty Podcast, episode 112, Autoimmune Disorder Nonsense. Let's do it.
Perfect.
I'm Victoria Wellesby, TEDx speaker, best-selling author and fat activist. I have transformed my life from hating my body with desperately low self-esteem to being a courageous and confident, fierce fatty who loves every inch of this jelly. Society teaches us living in a fat body is bad, but what if we spent less time, money, and energy on the pursuit of thinness and instead focused on the things that actually matter, like if pineapple on pizza should be outlawed, or if the mullet was the greatest haircut of the 20th century. So, how do you stop negative beliefs about your fat body controlling your life? It's the Fierce Fatty Podcast. Let's begin.
Hello, Fatty. Notice how deep my voice is. I'm sick. I've got the sniffles. I've got a sore throat. So today is going to be a short episode because I probably can't make it through that long. Yesterday I had 3 calls, 3-hour-long calls, and I thought by the end of the day I was like, oh my goodness, I might die. And then the podcast today, so I'm going to, hopefully it's not too annoying hearing my voice, or maybe you're just like, oh my god, Vinny, that voice is super sexy, which obviously it is super sexy. Yes, Dougie, what do you want? Anytime I've come to sit at my desk and start recording, Dougie the dog comes and sleeps next to me. He's such a good boy. Now he's doing a little stretch. Such a good boy. For those watching on video, you might notice a difference. My hair. I went to the barbers. I went to the trans barbers place, Big Bros in Vancouver. If you're in Vancouver, close to Vancouver, and you are a trans, non-binary, gender fluid, genderqueer person, then I definitely recommend going in. So nice to walk in and knowing that no one was presuming my gender. And I sat down and I said, oh yeah, it's my first time. And they said, oh, why are you here? And I was like, I'm just fed up with hairdressers just being like, yes, you're a new woman or ma'am, or, giving me a haircut that they think is feminine enough, I guess. I don't know. And the hairdresser said, yeah, you're the second today that said the exact same thing. And I was like, yeah. It was really cool. It was just really cool. Very, very queer, very trans, and very affordable. Like, normally I pay for a haircut in a Vancouver salon. So for a short, quote unquote man's haircut, quote unquote man's haircut, a short haircut, that would be $80. Yeah, that would be $80. This one was a sliding scale. You could pay 20, 30 or 40. So I paid 40 plus a 25% tip, so I paid 50. So pretty much half price of what I pay, and a gender affirming experience. It's great. I love it. And then I came home and I bleached my hair twice because it was a natural color, and I bleached it twice, and it's kind of gone yellowy at the roots, and I put some lavender in, and so it's like bluey at the ends, and so anyway, it looks a bit shit, but whatever. I'll have to go and actually get it properly bleached. Anyway, in today's episode, I am answering a question that I got, and I thought, this is a great question, great little question. Erin, who messaged me on Instagram and said that I was okay to answer this question on the podcast, asks, Erin asks, hi Vinny, congrats on coming out and feeling yourself. I have a couple of questions for you. No need to answer if it's weird or too much or something. 1, do you think when the Pando ends, you might do a speaking tour or something? I totally pay money to listen IRL. Ooh, love it. No, let me just ask that question. No. No, no. You know what? Speaking tours are they can be really expensive. And I mean, I would love if someone was to pay for me to do a speaking tour and gave me money so that I would make money doing it. I would fucking love to do that. But I think you need to be like a big comedian or whatever to make it worthwhile. You know, where you're filling out an auditorium or something. You know, whereas I'd be traveling around and there'll be my mum in the audience being like, "I'm so proud of you." So probably wouldn't work financially for me. And Erin would be wherever Erin is saying hi. So yeah, I don't think financially, I don't think it's a good idea. You know what? A lot of times, things like this, things that would be really cool and fun to do, it's just not financially viable. Like, I wanted to go on vacation and do like a fierce fatty vacation, and this is I was thinking years ago, and I know it's changed now that there's companies that will arrange everything for you. So I might be eating my words at one point, but things like that, it's like, is it just something I want to do, or is this a good business decision? And yeah, there's lots of different things that I would love to do, but they're not good business decisions. Like making merch is another one. Like making merch, to be able to find some place that I would agree ethically, politically with, that carried sizes. Like, I wouldn't even want to do merch if I couldn't have up to 15x. And then how much you would make on selling one thing, and then having to price it to make any type of money means that it would be cost prohibitive, and you wouldn't want to price it that anyway. And it's just so, but then it'd be just fun to have merch. And so a part of me is like, oh, maybe I'll get some Fierce Fatty merch. And then I'm like, no, it's probably not going to be the best decision. I was like, okay, fine, thank you, business-minded Vinny. Rude. Yeah. Now, hey, well, I'm halfway through this question, but it's on my mind, and I was gonna plan to tell you about it anyway. Is if anyone is planning on doing something similar to me, I as in having a business or whatnot, I thought it might be helpful if I shared my my expenses, like how much it costs me to run a business. And my business is very lean in regards to, I don't have lots of fancy outgoings. I don't have I don't know, a personal driver drive me around in a Porsche that is encrusted with diamonds like that. I don't have expenses like that. My biggest expenses is one software that I pay $270 a month for. But my total expenses for last year, I just did them a couple of weeks ago. My total expenses for last year was $29,000. So it's about a couple of grand plus a month to run my business. And you think, well, what? Surely isn't it having an email system, isn't it $10? And isn't having this and that $5? And yeah, a lot of the systems that we think, like a social media messaging tool, so when you can send out all your social media posts on one thing, that's $30. And a calendar management thing, that's $10. And then the software that I was saying that hosts my course and sends my emails, that's $270, etc., etc., and all adds up, right? And so anyway, I just wanted to be transparent in regards to this type of stuff, because you see, I've spoken about this before, a lot of online business people being like, oh my god, you're going to become a millionaire in 13 seconds. All you need to do is buy my course and you'll be a millionaire so quick. And that's not the reality. The reality is that it costs a lot of money. You won't make money for a long time. And you have to be able to be in a situation that can support you like that. And so a lot of people, if they've got a partner that might help them with finances, me, to begin with, I had savings from my corporate job to get me up and going, and a lot of a year's worth of savings. And so anyway, totally sidetrack. And if someone is having a business, if someone is listening and they have a business and they're like, well, I'm rubbish at my business, I'm not making money, and da 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 da. I bet you're not rubbish at your business. I bet that it's just takes time. Honestly, I've been doing this for many years now, and it literally, that is the secret ingredient. Is time. It's time. It's just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and keep doing it, and it's okay if that's not what you want to do as well. Anyway, back to Erin's question. So, Erin says, am I going to go on tour? I say, 10 minutes later, no. Number 2. When a person, me, has an autoimmune disease and my numbers keep going up, blood glucose, liver enzymes, and the only thing their doctor says is to take metformin and lose weight. And then it puts them in a spiral of like, shit, I need to only eat kale and beef and lemon juice or whatever. What the heck is a person to do? I'm just having a real mess in the head about it all, fear of disease, and also hating on the body, loathing, and just eating disordery, restriction. It's a lot. Sorry and thanks. Also, I undeleted Instagram to ask you. Deleted because too much before and after shit. Ha ha ha. Yeah, so, I'm so sorry that you're going through that, Erin. That sucks. My big swinging tits that you're having to experience that. And just to start, let's start on what an autoimmune disorder is. So Erin doesn't share what autoimmune disorder that they have. So let me just go over a few. So just in case you fall into any of these categories, and you know what we're talking about, I'm just going to go to this little Google. WebMD tells me rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, inflammatory bowel, multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes, Guillain-Barré syndrome or Guillain-Barré syndrome, depending how you might pronounce it, chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, which is similar to Guillain-Barré. Psoriasis, Graves' disease, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, myasthenia gravis, vasculitis. Okay, so that's the list of autoimmune disorders. So it could be any of those, one of those, more of those. So I have one, I guess. I have IBD. Fun. I wonder though as well, autoimmune diseases, things like asthma, and would that be one? And eczema, would that be one? Because it's the body attacking itself, right? So let me just read a little bit from this WebMD. Immune system disorders are, of course, abnormally low activity or overactivity of the immune system. In cases of immune system overactivity, the body attacks and damages its own tissues. Autoimmune diseases. Immune deficiency diseases decrease the body's ability to fight invaders, causing vulnerability to infections. In response to an unknown trigger, the immune system may begin producing antibodies that, instead of fighting infections, attack the body's own tissues. Treatment for autoimmune diseases generally focus on reducing immune system activity. Okay, so notice in there, in somewhere where they could very happily, easily crowbar it's caused by people being fat, they didn't, because yay! Woo! Good science. Here, unknown trigger. We don't know, right? We don't know. We don't know. The body is a mystery. Do you know that we don't even know how paracetamol works? Like a headache tablet. We don't even know how it works. We know it works. It's been around for like 50 years. We know that it stops. Somehow we think it stops pain receptors. No one actually knows. It works. That's all, whatever. There's a lot of things that we don't know. Anyway, and so depending on what autoimmune disease you have, basically, none of these things are caused by you, your fault, your actions. None of these things are because you ate too much, you ate the wrong things, etc. It's not your fault that your body is experiencing this. Okay? So I just want you to really sit with that. no matter what, even if it's not an autoimmune disorder or disease, no matter what your body is doing, even if it's a traditionally kind of illness or disease or disorder that's associated with fatness, even if it's type 2 diabetes, even if it's high blood pressure, the things that, people say, you're going to get diabetes if you don't stop being so fat. Even if you have those types of things, it's not your fault. And when a doctor prescribes weight loss, they are not giving you evidence-based care. They are not giving you evidence-based care. They are literally pulling up their sleeves up to their elbow, rummaging around in their assholes, and pulling out a piece of shit, a piece of bullshit, because there is not one single study ever to show any diet ever works. And there's not the information that shows that having a smaller body will mean that you are not going to have this illness or condition. And what we do know about intentional weight loss is it's not good for your health. So also doctors, you know how much work, how much training they get on nutrition and food? Like hardly anything. In a huge ass training that they do, I think they get like an hour class. So they are not a trained dietitian, nutritionist. They don't know stuff about food, what to eat and not eat if you want to manage certain conditions that might involve food. And we're not even saying that these conditions, these autoimmune disorders, are managed by food. So when I say that, I mean things like people who have celiac disease, who are confirmed gluten intolerant. And so a doctor in that case could confidently say, listen, gluten's going to make you feel sick. Then they'd have the education to talk about that. But they don't have the education to say this, eating like this is going to help you lose weight, because it doesn't exist. It's a lie. It doesn't exist. Right? So they're not a trained nutritionist or dietitian. They're not giving you evidence-based care. And even if whatever autoimmune disorder can be helped with food, if there is, a HAES dietitian is more often than not going to be telling you need to lose weight. Even if a condition can be helped with changing your diet, which is, we're not even saying that is what the case is, chances are a HAES dietitian or nutritionist is going to say, let's add in stuff, not take away stuff. Unless, you have something where you're deathly allergic to something, you're celiac, again. Then they might say, removing gluten might feel good for you, but you still have that choice. If you want to go ahead and eat gluten and deal with the consequences, you still have that choice, right? So even this is lots of hypotheses, even if your autoimmune disorder can be managed by the things that you eat, which is a big even if, and primarily the way to manage is through drugs, like you mentioned. So it'd be a secondary thing, right? Or even further down the list of things to help you with your health in regards to whatever it is that you've got going on. So I would be curious as to what treatment straight-sized folks get for the same thing that you have. Are you in a Facebook group? can you go into a Facebook group? Is there a group where it's health at every size aligned, and they talk about disorders and how people are treating health at every size, treating certain disorders or illnesses or whatever with a health at every size lens? There are resources. I was looking at, obviously I speak about it all the time, Hayes Health Sheets. Hayes Health Sheets has like 10 different things on there that are the common quote-unquote fat things that get blamed on fatness and being told to lose weight. So even just checking out Hayes Health Sheets, so that's HAES healthsheets.com, may enlighten you, because you know what, reading those, what causes this disease, what causes this condition, and it's like, oh, it's not caused because you are a big greedy loser. Oh, what? Well, that's what society tells us, even just reading it, even if it's not related to what you're going through, is really cathartic and enjoyable. So, what do straight size folks get? Do they get drugs and no body shame? Then we'll have some of those drugs and none of that body shame. Thank you very much. Also, I want you to know that a lot of these conditions associated with fatness are not caused by having fat on your body. We don't have that evidence. We don't know, right? We can actually link the issue causing someone to be a higher weight. So, someone who has, type 2 diabetes, whatever is happening in their body, that could be causing them to be fat. And then they get the fat blamed on it causing the diabetes, when that's not what is happening. It's like let me simplify it. It's like you have a cold, and one of the symptoms of the cold, like I've got, one of my symptoms is sneezing. And the doctor said to me, imagine if the doctor said to me, because you started sneezing, you got a cold. And if you stop sneezing, then your cold will go away. We see, everyone who's got a cold, they sneeze. So sneezing people are just more prone to getting colds. Well, no, sneezing is a symptom of a cold. Fatness can be a symptom of certain illnesses, diseases. And then we go in and say, aha, I noticed that a lot of people who have this condition are fat. Therefore, it must be the fat that has caused this disease. Let's look at the evidence. Oh, there is no evidence to support that? Sounds fishy. Let's just say it is anyway. That's like the quote-unquote obesity paradox. Like, why is it when we all know fat people are about to spontaneously combust because they're so greedy? But hang on, why are they living longer than straight-sized people? Why do they survive certain diseases and conditions better than straight-sized people? It's a paradox. It just doesn't make any sense. Is it because fatness doesn't mean someone's unhealthy? Nah, we'll just call it a paradox. We'll just say it's really weird. It's not actually. Right. Yeah. So Erin, what to do? I would say get advice from a health at every size aligned dietitian to see if there are actually any dietary things that you need to add. Again, you are not going to be told, unless you are really, something else is going on, that you're having a really bad reaction to a food, you're not going to be told to take things away or to stop being so greedy or whatever it is. Or the dietitian is going to say, hey, just take the medicine because that's what helps this illness. And then you'll realize that, oh yeah, I've just been prescribed a shit ton of fatphobia. And as well, like, the doctor could be saying lose weight, but we might be needing to kind of decipher what the doctor means. What do you you mean when you mean lose weight? Like, what do you want me to actually do? And the doctor can say, well, I want you to do some exercise. Oh, okay, so it's not lose weight, it's you want me to do exercise. Okay, great. And at that point, the doctor will say, how much do you exercise? No, they won't, because they will just presume that you never exercise if you have a bigger body. Oh dear. Yeah. So, what is really going on here when they say lose weight? If there is something going on around that, what do they mean? And also, Erin, give yourself some massive empathy. And I can see why this would be triggering. This is triggering for so many people. No matter, and that's without having an eating disorder and recovering from an eating disorder, and then having a doctor saying, "Oh, lose some weight." Like, holy shit! This is a really, really, really big trigger for a lot of people because doctors are in a position of authority, right? It's scary to go to the doctor. I don't know about you, but in Canada, it's a lot easier for me to go to a doctor because they like talk to you and ask a few questions. It's not the best, but in England, growing up, you'd be in the doctor, it'd be like some type of factory line type of thing where it's kind of like in, out, what you here for? Okay, get out. Here's your prescription, go. And you'd be like, okay. Say as little words as possible. Don't make eye contact. Just get in and out. Don't mess about with any useless information. I've got a sore throat. Oh, I've got the. I need to get this. I need to get in, out. No probing questions. Appointments lasting less than 1 minute. That type of thing. And so when I came to Canada and the doctor would be kind of like writing out notes and typing things, I was like, that's weird, but it could be just the doctors that I've been to here, and I know a lot of doctors everywhere are the same, right? Because they're under pressure too to get patients in and out. But anyway, a lot of us are trained, and a lot of us have that, recognition of that power dynamic where we're just like, oh my god, ah. And so if a doctor says lose weight, most people will just say, okay, yeah, okay, and then afterwards have to kind of deal with the fallout. Which is to be expected, right? You're not an inadequate person if you can't, when the doctor says, have you thought about losing weight? You're not an inadequate person if you don't, flip the table and start a fist fight with them. Because most people are not going to be able to do that, So another thing is, can you come up with a plan to protect yourself the next time you go to the doctors? Because we don't want you to not go to the doctors. That's why a lot of people, fat people, struggle with healthcare, because rightly so, we don't want to go to the doctors because we know we're going to get shamed, and that means the doctors are winning. That means that we are suffering because we're not getting the healthcare that we deserve. And so what can you do to help yourself, advocate for yourself? It could be that you're sending a letter before you go, sending an email saying, hey, I'm recovering from an eating disorder and any mention of my weight actively harms me. It could be that you bring in a little card that says, I'm not up for talking about weight. It could be that you bring in a patient advocate for you, whether it's like someone officially or it is a fat friend who, like, if I lived in cities with people who are, struggling with this stuff, I would come along and be like, listen up here, motherfucker. I'd tell the doctor where to go. Or it could be that you just know that the doctor might say something bad, and so I'm going to give myself some self-care afterwards. The doctor's going to tell me to lose weight, and so afterwards I've got a bath bomb from Lush ready and the new season of my favourite TV show ready to go on Netflix, So, alrighty, well, I'm going to leave it here. Maybe this is the shortest episode that I've ever had. 28 minutes-ish. With one pause for a single solitary cough. So I'm going to go make myself some lunch, and I hope this has helped, and I will see you all next week when hopefully I'm going to be feeling better. Hopefully I'm going to have, do you know what, for the rest of the afternoon, it's 2:09 now, I'm going to just have fucking downtime. Yes, I'm not going to do anything. So, All right, see you later. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. And if you feel ready to get serious about this work and want to know when the doors open to Fierce Fatty Academy, which is my signature program where I teach all about how to overcome your fatphobic beliefs and learn to love your fat body, then go to fiercefatty.com/waitlist. Again, that is fiercefatty.com/waitlist to get your name on the waitlist for when Fierce Fatty Academy, my signature program, opens.